Exactly. Okay, I'm a teacher by profession. I know that this is something that's going to continue, so I want to grab it before it gets to not. I have a student, and I don't care what you do, he has to have attention. This is probably difficult for me because
he should become a teacher.
I agree. So I've humored him, I've included him, I've let him be up in front and shine. You said something very good to me 2 years ago. There was a person that I was having a problem with who had reactivated old vibrations in my family, blah, blah, blah. And you said, and I didn't hear it in the hot seat, I heard it later when I got the recording. You said, you cannot let him be the wonderful being that he is because you're looking at him, I think, with the expectation that he's going to disappoint you or that he's giving you this behavior that is undesirable or what have you. So how can I look at this student? I mean, it's as if I'm sitting here, I know you know what the situation is, and I give all the information, or he asks a question, I answer the question, he asks another question.
Well, it may be that he is enjoying the expansion of co-creating with you. That's part of it. It may be that he... Well, you like it.
Yes, but... This is him asking a question. Okay, take out your folders. We're going to work on XYZ. You want us to take out our folders? Yes, please take out your folders. You want us to take out our folders that we bought last week? Take out your folders that have XYZ in them. Well, last week I came with the other folder and I didn't have it. So do you want me to take out that folder or the folder that I had this week?
Go back to your chair. In other words, as a teacher, do you find him talking about things that are not important?
Completely. Some relief from the subject. I used to be not a class clown, but I think what was excellent about me was I knew when to crack the joke for the teacher. And the teacher usually liked it. It wasn't inappropriate. It wasn't way off the subject, but it just, humor. What are we doing now? We're laughing. We're exchanging. We're co-creating. It can be fun. I'm not saying sit in your seat and don't say anything.
The first thing that we would do if we were interacting with someone who seemed to keep wanting to take the conversation to a different place than we wanted it to go, we would first acknowledge that this person has the right to have the perspective that he has. In other words, right or wrong, this is his perspective. And the thing that's troubling in a teacher-student situation, as in a classroom like that, is that the teacher feels that he needs control. And so a disruptive student really rubs against the grain because long before you got to that classroom, you were preparing for that classroom. In other words, there's a lot of momentum going by which you will present things that will be of beneficial nature to people. And it's so uncomfortable when someone wants to take it in this moment in a direction that is different than what you had in mind. Most people in most classrooms, most teachers, if they were listening to us talking about deliberate creation and law of attraction and vibrational frequencies and co-creating, they might hear it, but most of them would say, yeah, but in my classroom, I'm the one that runs the show, and I'm the one that decides what we talk about and when we talk about it. And we want to say to all of those teachers, your classroom's right smack dab in the middle of law of attraction, and everything that happens in your classroom is just like everything that happens in any other place in your life. It's coming to you because of your point of attraction. Now, granted, when you put yourself in the role of a teacher where you are standing before many students and you are trying to get them all to focus simultaneously with you on the same subject, that's a huge order of business. In fact, that's such a big order of business that we rarely see a classroom where it's really happening. To find a way to offer enough information that you are able to rope in the attention of that many people and get them all focused similarly so that they are all equally drawing through you what they are individually wanting to receive, and all of them getting what they are wanting, is really an act of your alignment above all other things. And so we understand how, as this young person is seeming to just try to poke at you a little bit, almost seeming to be disruptive in nature, if not deliberately, then accidentally, as a person is setting you off your game all the time so that you can't be in that flow, so that you can allow things to flow through you in the way that you have frequently felt flow through you, we can understand why it would be an irritant to you. But instead of seeing this person as an irritant, why not see this person as a factor of real life experience where you are getting the opportunity to maintain your alignment regardless of what's going on with this person. So as you are lying in your bed at night thinking about the next day, and you are sort of dreading your interaction because you know this prankster is going to be there poking at you in some way, as you feel the discomfort of that thought, then turn the boat around. And it's easier to do before you get to the classroom than it is while you are in the classroom, and try to think of the most beneficial comments that have come forth from this one. Try to remember what your initial opinion was. Try to get back to that place when you saw this person as fun before it became such an irritating thing. And then in your mind's eye, imagine that the two of you have sort of this creative dance where the best of you is flowing through. And while he is irritating, it's giving you an opportunity to roll with it in a way that really lets others see that you are really on your game. In other words, so that you're demonstrating really what you came forth to teach above all other subjects that you might be teaching. And you can learn this, you know it already, but as you hear it and really know that you know it, and this is what you are teaching from your platform of teaching, you will be the most beneficial teacher that anyone has ever had. What you're teaching is, I no longer need to demand a control of the circumstances and conditions for which ultimately there is no control, and every teacher in the world knows that. And instead, I am dealing with what I can control, which is my vibrational relationship to me. Which means no matter what you're doing, I'm still the lover that I am. I'm still the one who's in alignment. No matter what you're dishing out, I stay in alignment. And the thing about allowing that we really want to help everyone understand is that when people first hear us or anyone talking about the idea of allowing, they think that it means putting up with what you don't want and just not throwing a fit about it. In other words, letting people get away with things, allowing them to do what they want. And that is far from what we mean by allowing. By allowing, we mean not letting them get your goat. By allowing, we mean not letting them be your excuse to open your gap. By allowing, we mean maintaining the relationship between where I am and where I want to be, regardless of what anybody else is doing. So this person gives you the best opportunity that you're ever going to find of being able to control your alignment regardless of what's going on. So what happens is, in your alignment, you're present when you need to be. Your answers are concise and clear. You play at the appropriate moment. You give him attention when it will add to the greater whole. You don't give him attention when it doesn't. And as you demonstrate this alignment in front of all of those other people, including this one, what you teach them ultimately is vibrational control. In other words, you keep your cool and you maintain your alignment and you manage to teach around that. even drawing him in, not using him as your excuse to show your power, not using him as your excuse to show the injustice that is coming to you, but instead letting him be like a real person in the real world while you keep your sea legs and just keep moving along. And there is nothing that will cause the rest of the classroom to rally more to the idea of what you are about than to watch you being a very rare teacher and not demanding control. Because most of those kids are in rebellion against those who seek control of them. And when you demonstrate that you in no way are seeking control, you've got control. You've got control of the only thing that matters. You've got control of you. You've got control of the way you feel. You've got control of your connection, which makes you brilliant and wise and flexible and have excellent timing, you see. And then you'll win him over. He'll be your best friend. You'll discover that his timing is good too. You'll discover that he'll play with you in a remarkable way. And you'll give him what he came to this classroom to find. He has been under somebody's thumb for so long that he is in the beginning states of real rebellion. And he's trying to balance it out. In other words, he's trying to rebel in a playful way. But don't mistake, he's rebelling. And anytime somebody's rebelling, it's because they don't feel free. They do not perceive themselves as free. So you demonstrate, you're so free, you can self-destruct right here in this classroom. You're so free, you can make everybody in the classroom love you or hate you. You're free to do what you choose to be, and I'm not going to be the one that becomes a bigger buffoon in trying to stop you from being a... You get the sense of what we're talking about. Yeah. So then what happens is, as it begins to evolve, is you begin to look forward to this dance. He's not really trying so much to rattle your cage as he is to make it clear to everyone that he should not be controlled. And we agree with him.
I think he's a very decent person. He's got a great personality. And I do struggle with that a little bit. I'm not so much into control, but I don't want the focus on me. But it's like he's disruptive along the way. But everything you've said has made sense.
And the big thing to take away from this is that anytime somebody is deliberately disrupting, and he is deliberately disrupting, whether he's doing it in fun or not, he's trying to get some of his power back. And so when you practice in your mind seeing him as all-powerful, when you don't see his power or his freedom as an issue at all to you, then that will lessen tremendously. When you practice in your mind seeing this as a setting where the best of them can reveal themselves and the best of you can reveal yourself, when you practice those kinds of images in your mind, he'll come around. And he loves attention from you because he can feel the power of your being. And part of him really is just wanting to be in on the act. And we want to say to you, what's wrong with letting them all in on the act? This is something that's sort of stuck in your vibrational craw. I'm the one that you're supposed to listen to, is what's going on in your mind. And within reason, I'll let you all play, but I'm ultimately the one that you're supposed to listen to. And as you begin to see this classroom is a co-creative endeavor, in other words, you sat here and began by thanking Jerry for his questions and for what he's bringing. And we're wanting you to realize that without the question, there is no answer. And that even if it's a question that seems inane, even if it's a question about now which folder, now what is it? He might very well be just trying to get people in the mode of understanding that it's a give and take environment.
Okay.
So
excellent.
Roll with him, and it is our expectation you will come to appreciate him mightily.
Okay. Good.
You said, what is expectation? And we attempted to give you an understanding that you can expect from your human point of view or you can expect from your source energy point of view. And in time, you can morph one into the other until you just begin to expect things to go well for you. You just expect the universe to cooperate with you. We do. You just expect that all the things that you've asked for that are over here in your vibrational escrow will be yours. You just expect things to get better and better. Jerry and Esther have a sheet of paper that they lay on their dashboard and it reflects up into the window. Someone made it for them and it reads backwards when you look at it, but as it reflects back, they can read it perfectly, and it says, things always work out for me. Things always work out for me. And Esther is now resisting the temptation to say, eventually. In other words, things always work out for me. And when you begin to approach people and look at things through the eyes of source, then what begins to happen is your expectation begins to morph into that powerful, deserving being that you really are. And all things, not just the things that you wanted before you came forth into this physical experience, but all of the things that this physical experience has caused you to identify that you would like to live, all of those things now are vibrationally a match to you and begin to seep into your experience at the perfect, poignant time.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
It is. Yes, it is.